this is the most exciting part. How are we different? I'm gonna be talking about our instructors. Like I said, I'm the head of the instructor, and you will see some pretty great engineers. So, like Issa Ray, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Like you said, we like to hire smarter people than us, right? Ruslan and Sultan, they hired people that are probably smarter than them, and you know that. So they hired me basically. So I'm promoting myself. No, just the jokes aside. So we definitely want to hire smarter people than us, and that's what I'm doing as well, right? So I might be a head of instructor, but in reality, you will see the faces and engineers that are way smarter than me. And I'm the lucky guy who comes in here and tells you that I'm the head instructor and this is our team. Okay? So the first one, we have Michael. He's a lead systems engineer. He's a guru in Linux, system administrator. He's a low-level guy. I would love to say like I am, but I think he's even better than me. So he does work with the cloud as well, but he knows the lower level stuff like how to manage Linux and systems, right? So we're really happy to have him in our team. And he's a lead systems engineer in TransUnion. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with the companies. Okay, next up, we have Drew. Drew, he is phenomenal. You can, by the way, you can check any of our instructors on LinkedIn. You can verify that I'm not lying. Drew is a senior solutions architect. He used to work, or he's still working for Amazon Web Services, which is AWS, right? He just recently left an Amazon and he has his own company. Sometimes we think like, how the hell we were able to, get him as our instructors. I'm still shocked. So I'm really happy to have him. He will be teaching next week AWS, and like a student, I'll be joining to learn from him as well. You have a question? Oh, no, okay. Okay, so next up, Kevin. Kevin, I already mentioned you guys. Kevin is a software developer at Minero or Minero, I'm not sure. He conducts our Python hubs every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m., right? He's a great software developer. He teaches Python. Our students, at least, I know they're really happy with Kevin. There's a lot of stuff I can learn from him. So hopefully when I have time, from time to time, I actually join Python hubs in the mornings when I have nothing else to do on Saturday mornings. So it's been great. And I know Paulina joins Python hub every Saturday. That probably means she likes it, right? Otherwise, why would you join 9 in the morning on Saturday? Okay, we have Çağlar. He's a senior DevOps engineer at Pegasystems. He covers our Kubernetes hands-on and labs classes. At the very end, you will be meeting him, month 6 basic. He's great as well. I need to learn Kubernetes as well because I need it at my job right now. So that's what I'm doing. As a student, I join sometimes and I listen to classes. Okay, next up, Jovan. He's a senior site reliability engineer at iManage from time to time, so that our instructors get a little bit of off time, so that they are not overwhelmed. Jovan right now covers the Kubernetes hands-on and labs as well, right? Okay. And we have the master. We have a master, Ernest. He's a senior DevOps engineer at Tilium. He's the one actually who covers the Kubernetes, which is a really important tool. Month 6, he covers the lecture parts, right? If you guys remember, our schedule is 4 days a week, 2 days lecture, theory, but like I said, it's not always like a theory, like you would find it in the universities, right? It's not like all the time talking, but he answers a lot of good questions. And personally, I like the way he teaches. I know Sultan likes him as well. He's a great engineer. Maybe you have seen him in our webinars before in Q&A sessions. Udemy, yeah, Udemy. He covers the final project, by the way, at the end, 2 weeks, and our CI/CD. So he's a great asset, I can tell you that. Next up, we have Davran. He's a software engineer at United Airlines. Like I said, we don't need only DevOps engineers here, right? For stuff that covers any programming or scripting, which makes sense to bring in some software engineers. So that's where the Devran comes in. He covers the Python in our curriculum. I cover the shell scripting. After the shell scripting comes Python, where Devran takes over. After you're done with Devran, that's when you join the Python Hub for the next 4 or 5 months with Kevin. Okay. And we have one and only Akshal. He's the most loved instructor in our bootcamp. He's a senior software engineer at John Deere. You probably know John Deere, right? He also is our CTO, Chief Technology Officer. He writes our website and all the, the dashboard that our students that log in and watch the videos and do all their stuff, right? Learning platform, yeah. So Akshal is responsible for that. Yeah, we can skip this guy, I think. We already know who is this. I should have put myself after Rustem. So Rustem, like I said, he's the master of Terraform, and I think students love him. He covers the Terraform, senior DevOps engineer at Revity, right? He has been great, and we're lucky because Terraform is all on him. He takes care of the Terraform completely. If you have any questions to Rustem, he's here, so you can ask him at the very end. Okay? You may not recognize him. If you just take a look at this picture, that guy is completely different now. So next up, if you guys remember our curriculum at the very end, month 7, I mentioned that we will have 1 month of interview prep, right? This is where all these, the next instructors that come in. Julia, she's a DevOps engineer at Mastercom. She takes you and walks you through how to create really beautiful, or let's say appealing, what do you call it? Resumes, CVs, right? She teaches you how to modify or make your LinkedIn profile to stand out and all that. You'll be meeting Julia throughout the boot camp a couple times. In the beginning, the first week, one time, so that walks you through how you should be creating your LinkedIn profile. And at the very end, month 7, you will be handed over to Julia. You will be handed over to Z. With Z, you will start with Z from the first month actually, and she will be at the very end for the interview prep as well. She's a site reliability engineer, or SRE, at KKR, which is I think it was an investing company or something. I forgot what this KKR basically stands for. The names of 3 dudes, I believe. Okay. Huh? What? Education? Okay, maybe education. And we have another one. Basically, we have 3 right now, 3 instructors who will be doing the interview prep at month 7. Wolkan, senior site reliability engineer at HP. You guys probably know HP, Hewlett Packard, laptops, all the machines and all that stuff, server stuff as well. And like I said, I did not mention, but I should give a credit to all of our instructors who are in the interview prep. It's been a pleasure to work with them. They are really great assets for us, especially Z, who starts from the first month. And I think Z has been a great help for students throughout basically people spends an hour and a half bi-weekly talking about the DevOps, and she sometimes walk you through, shows her environment, how she works, what she does daily, all the tickets, tasks that she's been assigned to, and a little bit of a meditation, and what else? Encouragement as well. So inspiration with Z. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? And how can I not include our founders? Sultan and Ruslan, you probably know these guys. Anyone, if you have any questions, you can ask them after the session. Okay. They've been great. Okay, let me just praise them as well a little bit. They've been great. I've been complaining for a lot of stuff, and they were kind enough to provide me with a new laptop, the new desk that I want, and all that stuff. Okay. So, which is great. Like I said, I came to here to tell you that I'm the luckiest one. I can say that I'm the head of instructor next to all of these great minds, right? All of these great instructors that we have. I'm the least qualified among all of them. And that's the whole point, right? We have to hire the smarter people than us, which makes it perfect. And like I said, I talked to Ernest, I talked to Akshol, I talked to other people when we need to improve our curriculum. So Ernest recently changed our CI/CD from what we've been using, like Jenkins and Ansible, to more modern, to more popular tools like Argo CD and GitHub Actions. Okay, so if you look at it, then it makes sense. We want to hire people that are way smarter than us. Do you guys have any questions? I'm almost done. I promise. Yes, please. Yes. Exactly.
What kind of market, open position market for today, last month, 10,000 open position.
That makes sense, and it's my fault that I did not include because although Sultan insisted to include some data, like how many open positions we have or whatever, I just chose not to include it because I thought people already know. That's why they come in. Maybe that's why they might be interested. I just didn't want to bore you with the data. Market, yes, that's true, and we're not hiding it, right? I can openly say that market is tough, market is not easy. That was the reason we included the Python Hub. We want to make sure that our students stand out, right? And the market is tough, not only for DevOps. So that's where we need to make sure that clarify that it's not tough only for DevOps. Even if you study for QA, STET, it doesn't matter. Same thing, so.
One of the guys is very smart, cannot find a good job for one. Another guy from Africa at that, and the lady she finished off, still gonna find a good job. So I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of position you're looking, it's just like how consistent job, how dedicated you are, and how effective you are.
Yeah.
Comparing like DevOps market and QA market, DevOps market.
That's true, and even if I say the same exact sentence as she did, I have no idea. Like I did not bring her in so that she actually points that out. I have no idea what her name is. But if I said the same sentence, you would say, you know what? Because you are selling your DevOps bootcamp, that makes sense, right? But it's open, right? There's no secret. You can just look it up, and this is just the reality. The DevOps job market, like in terms of open positions, it's way better than QA. STET, I'm not sure. Probably the same as Paulina said. I'm pretty sure it's better than Salesforce. So yeah, so I would not go into the Salesforce because the moment you go into the Salesforce, you're actually going into the niche market. The moment you learn the language Apex or whatever that is, which is written on top of Java, you are just limiting yourself because the only place that you can work will be Salesforce only, the company which has a Salesforce. Because that Apex programming language is not applicable anywhere else. But you learn Python, Java, or any other language, you can do you can be working in financial market, you can be working like automotive industry, any other fields. And like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. You can just do the research, and you will find out that if you know a general purpose programming language, you will be way better off than learning some niche tool, which like a Salesforce. I'm not saying you may not be able to find a job. Probably you might. Huh? Yeah, so you're basically learning like a Java language, programming language. Python is way easier. You will see it once you start.
Yeah, how
Bootcamp.
determined is everyone is focused. Invest and find money,
Yes.
but the result of 6 months,
Mhm.
they have expectations.
I totally understand. That's something we cannot control, right? Market is, as you can see, sometimes I can say to our founders, 1 second, and they will wait. Oh, I see. Okay. This time I should have listened, Sultan, so. We can't hear what's being said in the class. Okay, I'm not sure, what was your name? Urman is asking, after we finish 6 months, basically, he's saying that everyone is stressed out, the market might be tough, and question is around that, right? Am I right? Okay, so that's true. The market is tough right now as well. Like I said, we're not hiding anything. I'm pretty transparent about this, right? But the problem is that's something that we cannot control. None of your estate schools, none of your QA schools, nobody control the market, right? So I cannot tell you, I cannot come here and tell you in 6 months, I guarantee that you will find a job, which will be a lie, right? I don't want to be a liar here. So if the market is tough, I'm sorry, I cannot do anything. But we had students cases where they finished the school and they consistently applied, even if it took like 500, 600 applications, but they keep applying, and that's how they got the job in 1 month after finishing. Yeah, maybe I'm giving you like one small example, but when people are looking at the data, they're looking the negative ones, which did not even apply, which it did not even spend some effort to apply. We tend to look at that part, right? Not the positive ones. Why don't you ask the person who got after 500 or 600 application, why he got the job? Why you're not questioning that part, but you are asking why these people didn't get a job? Like Betül we have here, maybe you guys know her. I think she applied like 400, was it 400? 400 jobs when she finished. And she got it like, maybe market was not as tough when she finished. Yeah, she got it, I think, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, after 2 weeks. It doesn't mean, like I said, let me make things really clear. It doesn't mean that you will be in the same position as Betül or some other one, right? We cannot control. I wish we could, so that we can place every one of you, but that's not how it works. Even I applied many times before getting the job. It's just the reality. There's a question, there's a lot going on social media talking bad about boot camps. What's your opinion about it? That's a great question. So since you guys don't know me, I cannot prove you guys that I'm the type of person where I don't want to be in a bullshit boot camp. I can tell you that for sure. And I made sure before joining TenTek, I asked Sultan, are you one of those bullshit boot camps? If you are one of those fake boot camps, I don't want to be part of any of it, right? And I joined the TenTek, I think, almost a year ago, right? Almost a year ago. Obviously, I did because in the beginning, I told him, I'm gonna try a couple months. If I find it that you guys are legit, I will continue. If not, I'm gonna just drop off. So as you can see, I'm still here. So maybe that tells something. I know you don't know me, so but my wife could have probably confirmed it, right? Yes, they pay me too much. Like I said, so here's the thing that I really wanted to make clear. I know it's not easy to pick a boot camp. I know if you join another boot camp info session, the talks will be around the same. They will tell you we're the best. Unfortunately, but there's no way for me to prove you actually, unless you do your well-informed decision and you talk. That's why we gathered all our bootcamp graduates, and we have instructors here. It's not an easy task on you guys, but you have to make a decision. Like I said, how else can I prove that we are the best? At least I know in Chicago we are the best when it comes to DevOps. And I told you already, we could have easily actually opened up a QA school as well, right? Which would have been really easy. We don't want to do that. We don't want to juggle too many balls because we have no idea. We have no interest in teaching QA. We just want to focus right now to build the best possible team that we can. And maybe in the future, we will open up something else, which will be around the DevOps again, but not QA. You can be rest assured. Another question is, if we don't have any history about these classes, how many hours should we study on it as a daily routine? So I would say if you can dedicate at least 3 hours a day, which is optimal, which is perfect. But I know it's not always possible. Why? Because we might be working somewhere full-time job. We have kids, we have family. But here's the thing, that's the part we cannot control either. So we cannot do anything for you in terms of that, right? You have to figure out your family stuff or work stuff. All we can do is make it as much as possible, as much as easy to understand whatever we're teaching. That's the thing we can do for you guys. Unfortunately, we cannot help with babysitting your kids while you're working, or you need to have some time to study. I hope maybe in the future. I actually pitched the idea. Maybe we should open up a kindergarten where people can bring their kids and they can leave and go to the class, study, and come back. Who knows? Maybe in the future. But right now, like I said, our job is to make sure that we want to be able to explain you the topics that you have no idea about, right? We don't make any assumptions. We just think that you are completely new to IT field, what the computer is, whatever that is, okay, right? So we start from the basics, and I personally spent a lot of time to give you the perspective, like, why are you doing this instead of not A, like instead of A, why you are doing B, or why didn't you choose B instead of A, right? So in my classes, I know I spend a lot of time talking about that to make sure that you guys understand what you are actually doing. I don't want you to memorize some commands in Linux and just running some commands. I want to make sure that you understand what you are actually doing. As you know, with great power comes with great responsibility. So I have to make sure that you know what commands that you are running in Linux. Any other questions? Yes, please. You.
First, I'm sorry in advance for my question. I think many people today that have some experience, the IT specialist. What me, I do not have some idea about IT. First time in IT, and I'm like, what's happening here now?
You are aware that you are in an info session, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
And, I listened about DevOps, more information, and I think for me, obviously, a little bit difficult. now to learn DevOps. Maybe I need to start something easy like Roshi, DevOps. Could you give back? Okay.
Yes, so,
That is what my mind.
okay. That's a great question. Let me just repeat it so everybody can hear. The first question was, I already forgot. The first question was, what was it? Yes. That's the only one? Or the YouTube as well? Okay, yeah. So from zero, without joining any bootcamp, can you learn DevOps or any IT field? I'm gonna say yes. If you are dedicated enough, if you can do the research on your own, and if you think you will not need any guidance, I would say go for it. You see how transparent I am? If you can do that, do it. You can learn it. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube and everywhere else. The problem is there's no content, which is, there's no guideline, like step-by-step thing, right? To become a DevOps engineer. That's where we come in. If you can't do that part, then you need something like us, right? Like a bootcamp. Otherwise, there's tons of information on around the globe on the internet, right? That's the problem. You don't know which one to study. But in our case, in every other bootcamp, you have a step-by-step guide where you need to start from and where you need to stop actually. Because even if I just sit here or with Michael, even if we start like teaching you Linux, there's no limit, right? I don't even know Linux, like I maybe know 60-70% of Linux. People who actually wrote the Linux, they don't know the whole thing. It's impossible to know the 100% of any tool. I can tell 100%. If anyone says I know this tool 100%, that's a bullshit. Okay. So, like I said, if you can do that, do it. But that's not easy, I know, but I'm not gonna say you cannot do it, which will be a lie. Like I said, if you can put a time, dedication, do the research, find the content, how should you go step by step, you can do it. Any other questions? Okay, so if not, okay, Mert I says, or I'm not sure. I didn't know I could start without a work permit. I will start as soon as possible. Thank you. Thank you. That's something we cannot control either. So now we already talked about our curriculum instructors and what is corporate DevOps. I already mentioned actually Z, our instructor. You will be starting with her the first month, the first or second week, where you guys will be for 1.5 hours bi-weekly, right? So twice a month. You will be talking with her about your concerns, issues. So we did not specifically said this is a soft skill. It's more than soft skill, right? Where she's showing you her environment, how we do stuff in IT in itself. She will be talking about the tickets, the tasks she was assigned, and much more. Then we have a Python Hub, which we already talked about. And then we have a book club, which is a new thing. So I just recently started with batch 12. Like bi-weekly, meaning twice a month, they will meet with me after, let's say, Python or after the bash shell scripting classes, where I will be talking and covering stuff they may not have understood in their classes, right? I can explain to students the Linux part, shell scripting, Python, Git, and all those tools. And I can also probably give them bigger pictures of what the Kubernetes is actually doing for you. What is AWS? What is Terraform and all that stuff. So you can think of it as office hours. Akshol had an idea, office hours, but I just renamed it to book club because we have a plan with batch 12 to maybe build our portfolio website, which I will be walking them through to create some, portfolio website. Do you guys know that? We will be creating just a website where you will have your basic information, who you are, whatever. Instead of having a LinkedIn, you will obviously have a LinkedIn, but just for fun, we probably will tackle to create our own website, every student, if they are interested, obviously, right? That's something I can walk them through. And like I said, this book club is not part of our curriculum. It's something I just, maybe I should meet with students from time to time after they're done with Linux and Python, because they don't see me until the end of the bootcamp. I don't teach, basically. So I thought maybe it's a good idea to have bi-weekly meetings with them. On that note, I would like to close my presentation with a great quote. I know this is not the quote which belongs to Steve Jobs. I watched his presentation in Stanford speech. This quote is from one magazine here where he was talking about. All I can say, when you step into the IT field, this quote will help you a lot if you pay attention, if you do understand what it means. So that's my farewell message for you guys for today, and I'm gonna close my speech or presentation with this quote. So stay hungry, stay foolish. Do you guys understand what that means? The moment you step into IT field, it's not like accounting or some other field, which changes maybe once in 5 to 10 years, right? IT field is really rapid, dynamic. Every other 6 to 7 months, maybe 2 years, tools are changing, updated. It's really great IT field to be in. You don't get bored because there's always something new coming out, right? It will help you a lot if you actually enjoy being in it, right? So that's what it means. Keep yourself all the time up to date. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you. Now, we had a question. Is there any requirement to get into your course? Well, we don't have any requirements, no age limit or anything, or do we? Yes. Oh, okay, sure, yeah. 18 to 40, yeah. Maybe 50. It doesn't matter age. As long as you are 18, should be good. And next up, I would like to invite a couple of our graduates so that you can ask some questions maybe that you might have. I would like to welcome. So the idea is, if you guys have any questions, we have our graduates that you can ask questions. I have to probably lower my table for her. Yes, hold on.
Why they don't have to see me? I'm good.
They might want to see you maybe. So there you go.
Never spoken with a microphone before, so that would be a fun experience. My name is
out.
Leslie, I'm a cloud engineer. I'm not a public speaker, just so you know. It's my first time speaking in front of the public, just an FYI. So I'm not sure I'm not prepared for this, so I can answer any questions. And I know like your concern here, can you start from zero? Yes, you absolutely can. I did not know, we started with Linux. I could not understand creating a folder or directory. I couldn't understand what it's doing. Like it completely, we're talking about zero to where we are now. Why? To answer the question, can you learn it on your own? No, you cannot. You can advance your skills later on, but to start from zero, you will not, I don't think at least, you would not be able to connect how everything works and why everything works. You can learn basics, you can learn like theory behind it, but it wouldn't do anything in the real world for you. Like you won't go far with that if you're starting from zero. Once you're there, once you understand and you can build onto your, and go further or maybe deeper, yes, definitely other resources are out there. As far as why DevOps, for me personally, it's a very broad knowledge versus like programming for being a developer. I wouldn't be a developer. For me, it's just too boring. Like you just have to have a sense of mind. Like you, I know you're, but it's not for everybody, I guess. Right? Coding is not for everybody, but for DevOps, it's pretty broad. Like you learn a little bit of everything, and I feel like that was that's what I liked. That's what kind of drove me into it. And plus you do have a lot of niches, like I work as a cloud engineer and I absolutely love it. There's still a lot to learn, and we didn't learn Python, and which I'm actually thinking of coming back for Python Hub. That would be, I feel, very beneficial for me. What else can I say? Personally, by background, can you do it? Yeah, the only thing is you do have to put in the time, which looking back, I would probably, just try and put even more time into it, knowing that how well it will benefit you further on. But my background, sorry, I worked full time while I was in school. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. At the time was of an essence for me. I was going through a lot of things personally, and it was just a very hard time. But even with that, I powered through. Is it easy? No. Do you have to put in work? Yes. Is it going to pay off? Absolutely. Why would I recommend this school versus any other school? I don't know. I have not went to other schools, but I have taken multiple AWS classes. Not that I'm at work, my job paid for classes, and I've taken them. They're all out of like cookie cutter. They'll provide you information. They'll prepare you for like certification. But in the real world, you don't understand how that ties into what. Versus like in here, they will explain AWS, but in terms of how will you use it in the real world, how it's connected. So this knowledge that I've gotten from here, I've used everything. The only thing is I didn't use that I don't use is Ansible and Jenkins. I don't even know if that's a thing at this point. If you guys are still teaching this for CI/CD, because we don't, like my company doesn't use that. But everything else I do completely, and every single thing. What else? Any questions to me? Yeah.
Well, congratulations, completing and getting a job.
Thank you.
Quick question, you can go back to the first day of the camp. What would you have liked like the first time you did?
Honestly speaking, I came in with a completely like zero of what to expect. What I would do is to maybe like understand what Linux is prior to coming to the course. The curriculum probably has changed, but for me, I feel like it took me instead of like focusing straight on getting, learning Linux, I spent few first classes trying to understand what is that, like just those little things. And also like putting maybe more like understanding that this is a 6 months commitment. And if you're like to be serious about it, you gotta like really put in that commitment and time and ask questions as well, as you go. Because if you fall behind in the beginning, they're always there to help you. Which is great about this guys. This is the community that you're always, if you have any questions, they're always there. But it's just everything in sort of the way the curriculum is structured. Everything sort of built into, in one thing built into another. So it's harder when you fall behind just to understand for whatever reason. But yeah, I guess both putting in the time if you're dedicated to it, and it's if you decide to make the change and change your life, change your career, and put it in. I understand that things come up like, oh, the job market is slow. That I've been in the United States for over 27 years. The job market has always fluctuated in any, I don't know, like not just IT, but in everything. But if you put your mind to it, yeah, you might not find a job right after it, but a month later, if you don't give up and you put your mind to it, you'll definitely get a job if you're dedicated. But if you're just gonna come to school for the point of being, okay, I attended the school, like for easy money, that's just not, I mean, you can still get a job, people do, but is it worth it? I don't know. Just, it depends on how you're, if you put your mind to it, because it's a good field to be in. I love it. I innovate it. It changes all the time. There's no right or wrong. The benefits of the school versus learning it on anywhere else. You come here, you do actual real life projects. You do things. You troubleshoot. You put, this is what actually sticks, and this is what makes you understand things, because you cannot just learn. Other classes, say I've taken a lot of like AWS classes after that, you can learn things, but you cannot, like, there's not much, in order to understand it, you have to put, do a hands-on, because that's what makes you understand. You break few things, and then you sort of have to fix it, and then a lot of things click. You make, you understand why everything fits into the way it's supposed to. So it's just an understanding, but you, I have a college degree as well, but you know what? After college, a 4 year of college degree, it did not prepare me for a real world, honestly speaking. And I have a very expensive degree that I did not use, not even for a day. So, and then I really like changed my life with a 6 month bootcamp. So honestly speaking, it's, you know.
Well, can you, listen, what's your background? So that we make sure that is it in IT or no?
I do have a bachelor's degree in information systems.
Information systems.
Yes, but my bachelor's, I graduated in 97.
Okay.
I'm actually older too. So if, you know, if somebody is looking, if somebody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so if somebody's thinking, you know, if they want to get into it when they're an older age, I'm a good example that yes, you can. So, but yeah, I never worked, I never used my degree, not even a day. I did a lot of administrative work throughout those years. But so, and then I decided, I'm like, because I do like IT and I've always like thought about actually making a leap, but I'm the most undecisive person ever. Like if you known me, I cannot decide anything. Like I would be the most skeptical person you know. And the only reason I've actually came to the school that I know because I knew people who already attended and gotten successful jobs. Like I've personally met them. I needed that reassurance. Like, okay, they did it. Like I can do it. You know, because there is a good life example. If it's not them, if you know if they did it, why not me? Like why am I different? So I needed that reassurance. So I guess that's why I'm also here. I'm like, if you're doubting if you can do it, I'm sure you can do it. If you put your mind to it. It's not, you know, if you're just gonna come here and sit and look at, you know, and not do the work and not apply yourself, I don't know, like it's not gonna be, even if you get a job, you know, you still have to work. So you have to understand, you know, you have to work, and the more knowledge you have, it's easier for you. It's less stressful for you as a, you know, once you actually work in that environment. And I also like, they also use like they use Slack and they use Confluence and all of that, like the things like in the real, like it prepares you for the real world. So that's a huge plus. It's not just, you know, versus any other classes that just provide you information and that's, you know, basically, as far as AWS classes I'm taking, they're not cheap classes, they're expensive, but they provide you a lot of information of what each thing does, but they don't necessarily explain how everything fits into everything, you know, like it's good to build onto knowledge, but to get to from zero, you need to take something like that, like a boot camp for sure. This boot camp I definitely recommend. I haven't attended any other ones. I won't say anything about them, good or bad, but I know these guys that I can tell because were there for me all this throughout the whole weekend. Any questions? And you know what? The support. I feel like this is the biggest thing for me because, as I said, I'm the most undecisive and the most skeptical person, and I'm like, oh, can I do it? Well, the group, you know, my team was also a very good team. We've helped each other. Polina is also from my team. We had, you know, through our job searches, through the journeys, we've shared experiences. We've talked about this, and this is very, like, it's very important, I feel like, as well, because it's like you just know you're not there on your own. You know, everybody's going through it, so it doesn't let you get down if you don't get a job right away. I mean, it just doesn't, like you know, there's everybody's struggling, or you know, somebody, or especially if somebody starts, like when people start getting offers, you're like, oh, she did it, then you know, I'm good, you know, it's like it motivates you more and more because you see you know, you've studied with those people, you know, and then they're getting jobs, and it's just like this reassurance that yeah, you can do more.
Thank you, Alexia.
Right.
That was great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for all the credits and everything. Now, guys, I think we're running out of time. So I told you that we will be doing the Kahoot game. Looks like we will be hosting that Kahoot game where you can actually, if you win, you can get some discounts for our boot camps. We will be hosting it some other day. Betul will be sharing the link from Instagram, I'm guessing, or some other social media accounts where you can join it, okay? It's really important. I'm not sure if you're planning to study in our school, and if you join Kahoot game, you can get some 10%, 20%, 30% discounts for the payments, okay? So please join whenever you can. Like Alessia and Paulina said, they're really happy, and I'm really happy for them. But to get to that happiness, you have to put in, yes, you have to struggle a little bit, right? Nothing comes for free. Life is not fair. As you can see, I'm the head of instructor, although there are way better instructors than I am, right? So as you can see, life is not fair. So go through a little bit of this struggle, but then hopefully you will be able to say the great stories like Alessia and Paulina just told. On that note, do you guys have any questions specifically to me or any other questions that I might be able to answer? Okay, you still remember the quote, right? Hopefully you start where it doesn't matter wherever you go, okay? Whatever the bootcamp you might end up choosing, this is the mindset, this is the quote you should be keeping in mind all the time when you are in IT. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.